So what's good, y'all? We back with Sensational Talk, episode 5, and I'm here with my lovely, lovely guest, the face of customer service, the voice of customer service, the queen of customer service, my friend Veronika, with a K.
With a K.
What's good?
What's good?
How you?
It's been a great day. It's been a great day.
It's been a little eventful. You got to see how the many mess ups of the lighting issues that I got to go through.
I don't think it's a mess up. I think it's just part of the process.
Yeah, but it took a little long.
It took a little long. It definitely took long.
It's 4:54. I think I started doing this
3:45-ish.
So about 54 minutes. But we here. So
that's all that matters. We made it.
For the people who don't know who you are, let the people know.
Listen, I like you said, face of customer service inadvertently, because I didn't mean for that to happen. It just kind of happened. But I'm the real Veronika on social media, and I think that means something now when I didn't think it would ever mean anything. But it's just basically a girl out there teaching you how to handle your workplace issues, how to snap back at customers when they piss you off, and that's it. Just having a good time.
So was there something that happened to you, like in the workplace, that made like this type of content like hit home with you, the way you feel like this is your niche, this is the lane, as opposed to being like one of these dance TikTokers?
Oh, 100%. So I've worked in customer service since I was like 14. I started braiding hair at a hair salon when I was 14. Then it kind of spiraled from there. And most recently, I was at a call center in an airline. And the call center was the craziest and the worst of all, because, man, people are crazy on the phone. So I always wondered, like, what would happen if I would actually say the things I want to say? And so when I kind of started my TikTok, I'm like, you know what? Why not? Let me do a video on what. And it kind of just went from there. And people were like, oh, my God, I want to do that, too. I wish I could say these things. And it just blew up to what it is today, which to me is crazy, because all I wanted to do was make people laugh. And it's just spiraled into this crazy, huge brand that I wasn't even prepared for it.
Isn't it funny how it's like, this is not what you meant for it to be. And it just becomes this out of control craze, these followers just come out of nowhere. And now it's like, when did this happen?
Exactly. Like, I think about that all the time, because I'm like, all right, I started making these videos and I was just kind of putting them out there. And then the first time somebody recognized me, I was like, wait a minute.
It's a good feeling.
Yeah, it was weird. It was a good feeling, but it was weird. She's like, oh my God, I love your videos. And I'm like, thank you, because people are seeing them, but you don't really know that people are watching. Like, you
don't know where they're watching.
You don't
from,
know where. It could be your next door neighbor. And it's crazy. So when people start, and then it started from there. Everywhere I would go, people would be like, I know you. You're the customer service girl. And literally, people made me the customer service girl. I didn't make myself the customer service girl. I posted a couple customer service videos. They made me the customer service girl. So the power of the public is insane.
Doesn't it feel even more insane knowing that you're an introvert and this is not, you're not used to this type of attention? So kind of like when it happens to me, like I'm a guy that just, sits on the couch and plays Xbox. So when I get noticed, it's like I'll never turn down a picture, but just know I feel I feel a little embarrassed, not in a bad way, but it's like,
yeah, absolutely. So it happens to me a lot at the Publix that I go to by my house. Every time I go in there, somebody recognizes me. Mind you, this is the Publix that you go to when you're not with makeup, when your hair is not done, when you're just looking like bumming it. I didn't put any effort into my look today. I went to the supermarket and people are like, oh, can I take a picture with you? And I'm like, sure, I guess, if you must.
I've taken a lot of bum ass pictures, man. But it's like people gotta understand that you are human, and they're gonna catch me off more than they catch me on.
Right.
Like, you're not gonna catch me all. And sometimes I try to, knowing that people see me all the time, I try to clean myself up a little. But sometimes like, sometimes I don't want to put on makeup.
No, I get it. I get it. You look great today with the makeup you do have on, but I usually throw on my own Yankees hat and I put on like just clothes and I try to hide my face. It never works. Somebody's always looking at me like they'll look under the hat like, wait, I know you. And I want a picture with you. And I'm like, but I'm just nobody. I just want to go home. I'm just buying tomatoes.
In essence, we are people now, not because we chose this, but because it chose us.
This life chose us for sure.
So being in customer service for that many years, right? I need because I know me personally, right? I'm on my end and sometimes I come with the fire, the customer service. Like my mouth is on disgusting, like, and I'm angry. Mm-hmm. So what is like a real life? Because we know you do the skits, but these skits are based on real life. So
absolutely.
Give me an example of something that was like crazy that, even though, I mean, I'm sure you can't lash out the way you portray him in your skit, but in your mind, you know where you want to be with it.
No, I absolutely have lashed out.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Oh, so
everybody that's in customer service, if they tell you they've never had a moment where they've lashed out at a customer, they're lying to your face.
Hold on, but do they fire you after? Because these things are recorded, no?
They're recorded, but they're not, like, somebody cannot listen to every single call that you're on. And the chances of somebody listening to the one call that you went crazy on, the chances are very low. Don't tell nobody I said that. Don't tell your managers that you know the secrets, okay? But the chances of quality assurance or your managers or your supervisor, whoever's supposed to be listening to your calls, the chances of that person finding that one call is very unlikely. Not only that, a lot of managers were in your position at one point. They know that they too have lashed out and they're not going to get in trouble. If it's something that you're doing constantly and it's just a pattern, then you're going to have to take some classes to learn to de-escalate and not let yourself get taken over. But sometimes it's just a lot. Like I remember one call specifically, the guy wanted to cancel his flight. I'm like, sure, but you have a fee. Like, you bought the ticket, you agreed to the rules. He didn't want to hear it. He told me to go unalive myself.
Yeah, because, you know, when we're on the other end, you're the person responsible for everything.
Absolutely.
We don't even care if you like the lowest in tier in the line. It's you. You got to fix this.
Absolutely.
And you're going to get the tongue lashing.
That's it.
I can't give it to nobody else.
That's it. And you know what, though? I've had customers, so I've had the other side thank me for my videos because they're like, I never realized that I was that person, that I was the caller. So thank you for putting it into perspective. Like, okay, that is a human on the other side. But I understand what you're saying. We're the representative of the company. Mm-hmm. We're the one. If you call, I don't know, Delta, I'm Delta. Delta doesn't exist when you call. I'm Delta. My name is Veronika Delta.
Like you.
Right. So it's really hard, but we both have to take responsibility. I have to take responsibility because I am representing the company. So I'm going to try and help you as best as I can. But you have to take responsibility and know how to control yourself and be like, look, I'm not frustrated with you. Let's try and figure something out. But sometimes it does get personal, like that person telling me to go take my own life. Like, what could I have possibly done so bad that you told me to go end my life? Like, that's something you got to deal with. You're going through a lot in your life. So you need to deal with that first.
I was that guy. And then I was also that guy in the same conversation. I caught myself and I end up doing something I usually don't do, which was apologize to customer service because I'm like, you know, I'm sorry, I'm just frustrated. And even though her response was, sir, I totally understand. In reality, I know she was on the other, I know she was on the end like, yeah, you.
Pretty much.
You.
Pretty much.
You and your apology. But
I'm gonna put you on the no-fly list.
I probably deserved that.
Yes.
But,
and you got to remember, these people, you're not the only caller. So imagine 8 hours worth of that call. Back to back to back to back. Go to hell. I hate you. You're stupid. I hate your company. It's a lot. And again, we are the representative, so we know it's coming. But sometimes it just gets to be too much when people just take everything out on us.
Yeah, no, I could not do this. It's certain jobs I could do, but that's not one of them.
Right. I can't do it anymore. Like I left because I knew eventually I was going to look up one of these customers' address. I was going to show up to their house and knock on the door and kick their ass. That's what I was going to do.
So being that you don't have to do that no more now this is the life that chose you. How does this differ from that life?
I could say what I want now for sure without anybody threatening to fire me or being afraid that my boss is going to find out that I hung up on a customer. Like, I can say what I want. I've always said what I've wanted, but I've always kind of filtered it. Now it's just like, what you see is what you get. So if you're going to try me, good luck. Best of luck to you. I hope you have life insurance.
You know, you remind me of a New York girl. I don't know why. I just get New York vibes from you. I know you say you've been here for a while, but I feel like you've been in New York as long as I have. Where you from originally? What part of New York?
So I was born in the Bronx.
Oh, me
and
too.
Yeah, I know.
BX, baby.
Right? So I left when I was 6. I grew up in Pennsylvania, but my mom never wanted to leave New York behind. So we would go every single weekend.
Hold up. So you from the Bronx like Jennifer Lopez from the Bronx, from the block?
Pretty much. Okay. I'm from the block, but the block in PA.
They know you. Oh, okay.
I'm from the PA block.
Okay.
I would go to New York on the weekends, every single weekend, with $26 in our pocket. $10 for gas going, $10 for gas coming back, and $6 for the George Washington Bridge. And we would stay at my aunt's house, and we were there the whole weekend, back to PA on Sunday night.
What part of the Bronx?
So I was born in the Fordham area, 194th Briggs Avenue.
Ooh.
And then
Grimy.
Wow. Anyway, and then when I lived there again in 2012 for a year, I was over by Yankee Stadium in the courthouse.
Oh yeah, that's by like Sheridan,
Sherman.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I be known. That's
I see that.
It's just the place, man. That's my stomping grounds.
Yeah. So where are you from in the Bronx?
The Grand Concourse, 156 by near the courthouse too, and Yankee Stadium, Marion Ave, like a little past Fordham.
Okay.
Those areas, you know.
You just said all parts of the Bronx. Like you went from Grand Concourse.
I'm the Bronx. I'm the Bronx.
That's just who you are.
The Bronx. That's, you know.
Yeah, but you know that New York never comes out of you. Like even when I moved over here for the first time, I worked at a bank, and my boss came to me. He's like, Veronika, I know you're from New York. You're just a little loud for us. And
that's accurate. It's probably accurate.
It is. But it has nothing to do with me being from New York. It's just who I am. But that you always recognize the New York. Like for me, anytime I go somewhere and it's just somebody's there from New York, you just know it. I was in Paris recently, and the first thing they tell you, don't let anybody take your picture because you don't know if they're going to run off with your phone. You should do that everywhere. Be very careful with who you give your phone to take a picture of you. Keep your phone attached to you. You know how they put kids on like that little, that's your phone, right? So I walk by these girls and one is taking a picture of the other and they're alternating trying to get a selfie. And I'm like, you want me to take the picture for you? She was like, no, it's okay. I'm like, I understand, because if you would have asked me the same thing. I'm
from the Bronx. We don't, matter of fact,
she was like, are you from New York? I was like, yeah. She was like, oh, yeah, take the picture. Like, she immediately felt comfortable.
Where was she from?
She was from the Bronx. So that's
from the Bronx?
From the Bronx.
Meeting the Bronx in Paris?
Yes. So it was like, she immediately...
Damn.
She immediately felt comfortable. She felt like, okay, I know this girl's not going to take my phone. I was like, don't worry about it. I said, give me your purse. I'll give you my phone. This way you got something of mine. I got something of yours. And we good. So she took a beautiful picture of my mom and I took a picture of her and her friend. So it worked out. But I felt the New York connection immediately. And that was just beautiful.
So let me ask you, as a person who's never going to fly to Paris, ever, because I'm not going on a plane. I seen, there was this trend going on TikTok, people exposing the real Paris and showing that it's like, it's not all glitz and glamour, it's grimy, it's dirty. Did you experience that?
I didn't experience single thing that people told me to be careful with. People told me to be careful because people were rude in Paris. People told me to be careful because I was going to get pickpocketed. People told me it was dirty. The food was nasty. And when I tell you that if I could move to Paris today, I would pack my shit. Take my dog. If my mom wants to come, she could come too. My aunt could come too. The cat could come. The other dog will be out. Like, I could leave today.
Why though? What was the it factor in Paris that makes you say, I could pack it up and leave here and never look back?
100%. So I've always wanted to live in a small town. I love like the idea of little bookshops, cafes, flower shops, and all that. Paris has all of that on every street. Every single street, you see little cafes, bookstores, flower shops, the Eiffel Towers. it is so beautiful. Like, it's just something absolutely gorgeous. And it's a big city. So it's a small town in a big city. So you get the convenience of the big city. You get the bustleness of the big city. But it's still, you get that small town feel. The architecture is absolutely beautiful. And all that matters to me. So I would leave today. There were more rude people when I landed back in the U.S. I didn't encounter one rude person in Paris. Not a single person.
We're talking about New York, though. I mean, not New York. We're talking about the United States. You know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how dare you
here.
tell me you're going to find rude people in Paris? I find rude people here every single day. I had to file a complaint against one of the wheelchair girls as soon as I got back to Orlando.
What do you mean a wheelchair girl?
Like the one who pushed my mom.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. As soon as I got back to Orlando. In Paris, my mom was catered to as if she was the queen because, I don't know, they cater to people who need assistance over there. It was beautiful. I'm telling you, if I could leave today, I would leave today. And okay. I stand on that 100%.
I may consider it at some point.
Just take a cruise.
Oh, no, I'm definitely not going to do that.
Oh, you won't do cruises either.
I can't do cruises. I can't swim.
You don't need to swim if you're on the boat, though. So
you saw the Titanic?
That was in 1912.
You saw it?
Of course, that's one of my favorite movies. That was in 1912. Okay. And the Titanic was 1/16th the size of cruise ships these days. So.
I don't know. I'll take my odds on land. But one day,
I can't.
I don't know.
I cannot. You're so tall. You're so scared of so many things.
You know what? Maybe if airlines provided, instead of these oxygen masks and these flotation devices, and provided maybe parachutes under the seats, or if I don't know. I don't even know what to say. What I would want included to get me on a ship, because
why
I don't
you
be in the
buy
water.
Your own parachute? This way you have it with you in case of anything. But if the plane, God forbid, starts to go down, you're going to be able to open your parachute. You're going down with it. So you're never going to need the parachute.
Nah, I could jump out.
How? The door is locked. You're going to open the door and expose the oxygen and the pressurized.
They're gonna go anyway.
You don't know
parachutes.
that. That's the thing. You don't know that. What if it lands in the water like Captain Sullivan
That's why I stay on
did?
the ground.
But do you know how many car accidents there are on a daily basis in Kissimmee alone?
Not me.
Listen, I've been in Kissimmee 18 years, and I used to work at the police department, and I worked at the hospital. And when I tell you every other person that came in was a car accident, you're safer in the air.
I'm not safer in the air. But let me ask you this, right? Let's get away from my fears, right? So,
damn.
Since
I was having
becoming
so much fun.
This, I'm gonna tread lightly when I say this, because I don't know what to call people like us, because we know, growing up, again, to me, celebrities are like basketball players, movie stars, and whatever. And when people say that, people who do social media, when they call them celebrities, people snatch that title. They're like, they're not celebrity. So since this newfound fame, right? I'm going to ask you, I'm going to dive a little bit. Have you dated since you've become this new version of you? And if you've dated, has being who you are now changed the treatment, I guess?
I have not dated. I haven't dated anybody. Since or before. I really've never been in a serious relationship or anything like that. So I haven't. And then after the newfound fame, I when I had dating apps, every so often I would get a message like, "Wait, I know you. You're the girl from TikTok," and I'm like, delete.
Well, hold on. Back up a little bit. What dating apps? Which ones?
I only ever used Bumble and Hinge.
What is this Bumble that I keep hearing people talk about?
Bumble is great for women because you have to be the one to send the message. So you're not getting a whole bunch of unsolicited pictures that we hate to get. You're not getting all these spam messages. When we connect, I have to send you the message saying, hey, or whatever your opening line is. But men can't just reach out to the woman.
So men are just chopped liver on that? We just sitting there and waiting for it?
Sitting there waiting.
What?
Just sitting there waiting. because we get so many unsolicited pictures that we don't want.
Is this a paid app?
No, Bumble's free. They do
free
have
for
the
everybody?
premium, but it is free.
What does the premium get you?
I'm not 100% sure, but I believe it gets you, like, there's a list of people who've already liked you that you get to see if you pay for the premium, but I don't know what else they have. Actually, I think there's a feature also that if you accidentally swipe left on someone, it'll bring them back. Like, you can unswipe in case you mistakenly swiped on them.
Is this like a new, because the only app that I've ever heard of where you swipe was Tinder. Is this?
All of them are swipey.
Oh.
Every last one of them. So
Last time I was on a date, I can't tell you, man.
Listen,
I don't know.
it's just, I don't like them because you're literally going off of somebody's looks. You're looking and you're swiping. That's it. That's all it's become, is a swipe. And I deleted all of them. I'm not on dating apps. I'm good.
But do people even find love or find partners outside of dating apps anymore? Like, do people?
Not in Florida.
Like you,
Not in
I
Florida.
remember dudes are hot. Yo, they holler at you right on the street.
That's very New York.
There's no apps. They not trying to app you. They trying to apprehend you.
That is in very New York. Florida has not been successful. I lived in New York in 2012, and I had more love interests in New York in that year than I ever have in Florida. Florida's not easy to date. So if you're not on a dating app, you're probably not meeting people out in the wild. It's just not a thing. Like in New York, you go to the grocery store, you smile at another person in the grocery store. You're talking, on the train, on the bus. You can meet somebody anywhere. Florida is not like that.
Well, New York, you don't need a car to be in New York. So you have the opportunity to be on foot where these people can harass you. In Florida, you driving around most of the time, so nobody sees you until you get to your destination.
Not only that, in New York, the bodega is right below a building. Like the clothing store is right by a building. Like everything is intertwined, right? Florida's everything is separate. So, you have the shopping stores over here, you got your houses, and every complex is shut off by a gate or, so it's everybody stays to their own. And I don't know. It's really hard. It's very hard. So in Florida, if you don't have a dating app, you're probably not meeting anybody.
So what happened with the dating app that you was on, Bumble, with the gentleman?
It just gets to be too much. Like people, you start these conversations and then it just disappears, or they ghost you, or it's just not. Like, I like to have stimulating conversations, and it's so hard to find people to have those types of conversation with. And I can have a conversation about a plethora of subjects, and it's just very, very difficult to find people that are interested in those conversations, because most of these apps are just hookup apps.
You ever ghosted somebody?
I've never ghosted anyone. I find it so disrespectful. I'm very, very communicative. I would dead ass tell you, yo, I'm not feeling it. That's it.
See, that sounds, first of all, that sounds very New York, very Bronx. I'm not
feeling it.
But I don't know. It's funny with the dating thing, because people are still catfishing. Like, I just posted the video of this young lady again, and I went to her page. I did further research after that, and she shows her body. Like she's plus size, but I didn't see anything wrong with her. So I don't get how someone could know that you're plus size, invite you to a restaurant, take you in the restaurant, and then immediately walk back out and say, you know what, you're not for me. You knew that before you went in the restaurant. So I still don't really understand that story. Again, the only thing that I could think happened, he went in, he saw his main girl or his wife and said, no, we got to leave. Because if you knew that, why bring somebody all the way down?
I'm going to tell you why. So I saw that video and I commented on it, actually. And a lot of people, I saw the comments from both the men and the women, right? So I think that he walked in and maybe saw his wife or his girlfriend, whatever, or he saw a friend or his friends. There's a lot of men who are willing to be with a plus size woman behind closed doors, but not out in public. Like, it's like an embarrassment thing. It happened in Sex and the City, where Carrie went on a date with Mr. Big, and in this restaurant on the other side of town, she ran into a friend of hers who was on a date with a girl that he didn't typically find pretty. So he was hiding her on purpose. And that happens a lot. So it could have been that. It could have been that he wanted to humiliate her. Unfortunately, there's people in this world that they get off on humiliating people. Either way, if she had the pictures, she showed herself, she knows exactly what she was offering. And he was like, let's walk in, let's walk back out. That's a him problem. Like, she shouldn't feel bad at all. Like, if she didn't hide herself, she shouldn't feel bad because you put it out there and you are who you are. But somebody that could do that, like, I would have been like, look, let's just grab a quick drink and we could go. I don't want to continue with the date. But you know how embarrassing it must have been for her to get ready.
Very.
Put on her makeup, try to look pretty, put in the effort, only for this dude to be like, mm-mm.
And post it online.
No, that's just a shitty person behavior. So she dodged a bullet, if I'm being 100% honest.
See, everything ain't made for it. I get it. Everything, I mean, it's there and we're entertained by it, but I couldn't get on the internet and post something like that about myself, just knowing the sheer embarrassment of it. Do you feel like, I guess on both ends, do you think the bar is for a man is set too high?
Oh man, this is gonna go on for 10 years. I think that I can only speak for women, you know. I think that we are easily pleased. And I think that even with that bar being so low, like, just feed me, I still think people are not even willing to do that. But it's because there are so many women who don't care. Even if that bar is not met, the minimum bar of feed me, that minimum bar is not even being met. And they're like, okay, I'll accept you anyway. Like, I'm going to put a standard, but I'm not going to follow up with it. So if you're a shitty dude, because this doesn't apply to all men. I hate when people be like, oh, so you hate men. No, I don't. I hate shitty men. So,
same thing with women.
It's same exact thing. That's what I'm saying. But I can only speak on behalf of women. You know what I mean? So if you set a boundary or you set a standard and the person doesn't meet that, you have to respect yourself enough to be like, all right, I'm gonna head out. But a lot of people don't do that. They're scared of being alone. They're scared of being lonely. They don't want to go into the dating world again and try it over again. So they'll just accept whatever they're given. And that's what creates these horrible situations that both men and women find themselves in.
Okay, so let me ask you this about women, because I've posted videos about this. There's been plenty of videos where women are going off because either the man doesn't make, a certain amount, or a man is not willing to pay for dinner, or if he wants to go, what do they say? They go Dutch?
Yeah.
Do you have an issue with going 50-50 on a first date?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I've made a video on it.
What's the issue there?
It's not an issue. It's a standard that I'm setting for myself. Let's just say me and you asked me out on a date. You're the one that wants me to give you the time of my day. I didn't ask you out. So you don't know my situation. Number one, what if I don't have money? I'm going to always have money with me. But that's not the point. The point is you are trying to get my attention. You've either been watching me at work, you've either been interested in me for some time, and you finally said, you know what, I'm going to take this woman out. I'm going to ask her if she will go out with me. So at that moment, you're the one trying to impress me. And I know what I bring to the table. Don't get me wrong. I know there's plenty of women who don't bring much to the table, but this is specific to Veronika. I know what I bring to the table. So the least you can do is pay for my dinner. I had bariatric surgery. My dinner is going to be like $15. If you cannot invest, cheap date. When I tell you we could share a plate and I'll take 3 bites and be done. So you're still going to have your whole meal. You ain't got to worry about me. I'll buy an appetizer. I'm good. Let's go for happy hour. It's not about how much you're spending. I don't want to go to $100 restaurant. But if you can't invest $15 into me, if it's too much for you to invest a little bit into impressing me the way that you want to because you're the one asking me out, then you're just not the guy for me, because I am going to take you out. The type of woman I am, I'm going to reciprocate that. I'm going to buy you fly shit for your birthday. I'm going to buy you birthday presents and Christmas presents. I'm going to spoil you. That's who I am at my core. So if I see that you're not a generous person in that way, then it's just not going to work. And I'm okay with accepting that.
See, hearing you say all that, these are like qualities all men say that they do want, right? Many men, that's like the perfect ideal woman. Like, what? She's going to hold me down. What do you think the issue is that, if there is any, not assuming, what do you think the issue is in you trying to date, and as to why you haven't been on a date in a while, knowing that you have all these qualities? What's...
If I'm being 100% honest, is because I think immediately my demeanor tells you I'm not playing games.
You with the shits.
I'm with the shits. So you're not going to come into my life and play games and try to gaslight me, because you can immediately tell just by the way I carry myself, by the way I speak, by the conversation I can hold. You know you're not going to be able to get one over on me. You know you're not going to be able to gaslight me and try to get me to, lower my boundaries and my standards. It's just not going to happen. And like I said, there's so many women that are willing to accept mediocrity that it's like not worth the effort for guys. That's their prerogative. That's beautiful for them. It's a cliche phrase, but if I'm too much, go find less, and that's okay. I know what I bring to the table. So when a guy recognizes like they can't get over on me, it's a turn off for them, because they're like, this is too much effort. It's just too much effort. The trash takes itself out, essentially.
You feel like in this day and age, a lot of women will have to end up settling because that bar is not being reached. So it's like, either you be alone, and nobody wants to be alone. I don't believe that anybody, excuse me, I don't believe that anybody wants to be alone. Maybe some do, but I couldn't live my life knowing that, yeah, I'm good with being single forever. Who wants forever? Forever's a long time.
It is a long time. So if a woman loves herself and values herself, she's not going to settle. I'll tell you that. There are going to be women who settle, but that's a different bracket. I'm in a different bracket than that. I don't love being alone. Nobody does. Like you said, I travel a lot. I go to like really cool places, especially now in our field of work. We get these opportunities that we're like, oh shit, I got invited to this cool place. I would love to take a partner with me and share that with them, but I'm not going to settle. I know exactly what I want. I know exactly what I bring to the table again, and I know what I'm expecting in return, and I need that. And if I don't get that, then I'm okay. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not frigid. So I'm not like, no, you need to check all these boxes. But I know what I'm looking. I'll know when you come into my life. I'll know, okay, all right, this might work. All right, we got to compromise a little bit. Little sacrifice here and there. I'm okay with that. But as far as settling for someone who's not emotionally mature, someone who's not ambitious, I can't settle for certain things. There's certain things that are non-negotiable, and I'm okay with that. So if I have to be by myself, then I'm gonna be by myself until that person comes. If that person doesn't come, I got a beautiful amount of friends that really step up to the plate. I got my mom and my dad. They're my whole entire world. I got family that we're always there for each other. So I'm not alone. I'm not alone. There are days and nights that I'm lonely sometimes, but I'm not alone per se. And a lot of women will be alone versus settling, because the peace of being alone versus settling for someone who you know your spirit is not in tune with, that it's worth it. The peace is worth it. You might still have those lonely nights. You might still have those days where you're like, oh my God, like I would kill to go on a date right now. But it's not worth the drama, the bullshit, the anxiety that comes with being with the wrong person.
What would you say is the biggest deal breaker for you when dealing with a guy?
Not having a passport. No. That is superficial, but you need a passport. I like to travel, and I'm going to travel. Either way, I'm going to travel. But I think emotional maturity is something that I'm not compromising on, because that has so much to do with how we react to things, how we engage in conversation, how we handle conflict. It has a lot to do with it. So you need to be emotionally mature. If you're emotionally mature, then your ego is not going to allow you to get in the way when I'm trying to help you level up. So you're not 100% financially secure. Okay. As long as you're open to letting me help you, I'm going to help you level up, because I'm not going to be with a little bum down here.
See, that's dope, because there are a lot of men who are insecure in that area where they will never take the help from a woman.
Right.
They'll rather be on the street than accept your help, even if it's coming from, a place of like just being a genuine human being.
Absolutely.
They don't want to be leveled up by a woman. They feel like it's their role as a man to be the provider. But sometimes, it's okay, because I was down plenty times in my relationship, and people could say what they want about me, but my wife held me down for years when I was a bum. But she know that the drive was there. That one day, like
Absolutely.
I would be a force of nature, and sometimes it just works out like that.
It does. But that comes with emotional maturity.
Mm-hmm.
That comes with you not letting your ego say, you know what? No, I can't let my wife pay these bills. No, go ahead. As long as I'm going to hold you down, you're going to hold me down. I know it's going to work out in the end. If we're a match, we meant to be together, it's going to work out in the end. And sometimes you just got to take the help from your partner.
There will be some women that say you're bugging right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's not your job to hold any man's hand and help him up. Like,
right.
It's your job as a woman to sit there and be catered to. And that's open for debate. I mean, it's not set in stone that it has to be this way. It just so happened to be that way.
I'm very big on everybody deserves an opportunity. Not everyone came from my background. Not everyone had a great upbringing. Not everybody had a loving family. Not everybody had access to a good school. So when you make those bold assumptions about, oh, nah, I'm not helping that. He's a bum because he wants to be a bum. No, maybe he didn't have those opportunities. And when I say I'm holding you down, that doesn't mean I'm paying all your bills and putting you through school and all that. There's a difference. I'm 35 years old at this point. I'm not. At this point, you gotta show that ambition. If you still working like a dead end frontline job and I don't see movement, that's a different story. But if I'm with somebody and they're like, listen, I really want to make it somewhere else. You give a woman your dream, she's going to make it a reality. But you have to be open for that. And again, that comes with that emotional maturity. That comes with stability in your mind. You got to be healed. You got to be willing. Let's work together. Let's make it happen. But it's I don't know, that so much of that ego takes over where you're like, nope, can't do it. I'm not letting my wife help me. Okay, so we're just going to struggle together. Like, you struggle on your own because I'm not struggling. Like, I'm not struggling. That's the one thing I'm not going to do is struggle. So if you don't want me to help you struggle, that's okay. You're going to struggle on your own, because that's one thing I'm not going to do is ride the struggle bus with you.
So you say you're 35, right?
You had to repeat that.
Yeah,
you had to.
Old.
Okay. All right.
You're like
how old are you?
Borderline washed up.
How old are you?
Don't matter.
No, I'll look it up. I'll look it up on Wikipedia.
No, but seriously, because you time and time you always hear that. Do you feel like, as a woman, like being 35 years old, they say women have like this expiration date. When you reach this certain age, that's it. Do you feel like that? Do you feel
age is a number? I don't. One thing you'll learn about me, I don't listen to society about shit, because the goalpost is always moving. Mm-hmm. It's always moving. Somebody's always telling you, oh my God, hurry up. No, slow down. Wait, don't do this. Don't do that. If you sit there and listen to everybody's rules about what you should do with your life, you're going to go crazy. Mm-hmm. So listen, I believe in God's perfect plan for my life. So if I'm meant to have a kid at 42, guess who's going to have a kid at 42? Whether they say that my eggs are all dried up and gone down the drain, I don't know where they at, but they not in my body no more. I'm going to have a kid at 42. I'm going to have a kid when I'm meant to have a kid. I'm going to get married when I'm meant to get married. Like, I don't let society dictate when I make a decision. That's what has people crazy.
I had my daughter at 40.
Listen, look at that. My dad was 45 when he had me.
Damn.
My dad is 80 right now.
That's man. It's a blessing to live that long, man. It's wild, because some of these young boys ain't even making it to 16. In Florida, it's hot out here. They're like, these boys are hot. Like, I don't.
Sure is.
I don't even play these games, because I know these young kids out here, they carrying stuff. I don't try to get into a confrontation, even though I may be bigger, even though I may be able to pound these kids into the ground.
They got weapons.
So I don't even, like, I want to make it back home.
Absolutely.
So a little while ago, you mentioned you can only eat a small amount because you had surgery. What was the reason behind you getting the surgery? What is it like
So I had the gastric sleeve, and basically your stomach is like I don't know what that shape would be, but it's kind of like a circle. They cut off most of it and then they leave you with like a little tube.
It's an equidorium.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Made that up. See that? You ain't even know. Equidorium.
Equidorium? Is that the word?
Equidorium.
Equidorium.
Yeah.
Okay, so your stomach is an equidorium?
That's right.
They cut it and they leave the polytorium right in the middle by itself.
What's that?
I just made it up too, okay? So we're going to make stuff up. I'm going to join the party. So I had been extremely overweight, like extremely overweight. Extreme, I'm 5 feet and I was pushing 300 pounds. It was bad. And my back was to the point that I could not walk anymore. Like I was miserable. It was so bad. And what kind of pushed me over the edge was I went to Universal Studios for Halloween Horror Nights, and I love roller coasters, and I had to get off of 3 roller coasters because the thingy wouldn't close. One of them clicked twice, and he was like, "It should click 3 times, but you should be okay." I'm like,
"No, you should.
You want me to die? Get
see
me
what's
off.
happening with these roller coasters?
Hello?
Like, I want it to click until I can't breathe.
Right. I need so I was like, "Get me out of here," and he's like, "All right." So I had to get off 3 rides, and it was first of all, it was embarrassing. Because obviously there's people looking around like, what's wrong with this fatty? So
you definitely had some meat on your bone.
Yeah. So, I still have a little bit to go. I've lost 90 pounds so far, and I still have maybe another 20, 30 before I continue with the process of like skin removal surgery and shaping and all that. But I feel better. My back doesn't hurt. I haven't tried to get on a roller coaster yet because I'm traumatized at this point. But it was something that I needed. And I posted on my story one time that we ask help for other things. We ask help when we're unalcoholic, when we, unfortunately there's people who are drug addicts and stuff like that, and they ask for help when they need it. I'm so strong in so many other aspects of my life. I needed help with this one thing. So in the beginning, I'm like, damn, it feels like I'm cheating. I should be able to do it on my own. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to keep that mentality till I die. I'm going to end up dead at 33 years old because I'm too proud to go and say I need help. I'm not. I'm so transparent about this surgery. I'm happy I did it. If there's anybody that feels that they have nowhere to turn, do it. It was the best decision I've ever done in my life.
Is that costly, or does insurance take care of that? Your
insurance does take care of it if you are, I think you have to have like sleep apnea, diabetes, high blood pressure and all that. Like your doctor will get you approved. But you can also go to other countries to do it. But I never recommend that because
it seems like a mistake.
It's a mistake. A lot of people have had success in other countries, but when you come back here, God forbid you have any complications, doctors here are not going to want to touch you because, they don't want to add to that. So I'd rather stay here. My insurance did pay it. I had to pay a little bit out of pocket, but it was so worth it. It was very much worth it.
So how was, shout out to you for making that decision because,
Thank you.
Health is wealth. Do you feel like dating was different when you were bigger?
I've always gotten attention. So like I said, I've never been somebody to really go on a lot of dates or anything like that. But as far as receiving attention, I probably get the same amount of attention now than I do before. When I started my channels, I was much bigger. And I still always got a lot of people like, oh my God, I would marry. Will you marry me? Let me take you out on a date. Let me do this. Let me do that. And I get the same stuff now.
That's always been a weird comment when I go on people's lives or when I look under the comments of their videos. Oh my God, marry me. You don't know this psychopath. This person is a psychopath. What are you talking about? You want to marry her? You don't know her. Never comment that under my videos. You don't know who I am.
So the crazy and funny thing is that you never think you're going to meet the people that you're watching on live, right?
You don't.
No disrespect to your wife, but when I first saw one of your videos, I was like, will you break into my house and read me a bedtime story?
Damn,
So I'm one of those people welcoming a possible psycho into my house to read me a bedtime story. So
you know what's crazy? My wife always sends me videos and it's like, oh my God, another one. But I believe she had sent me one of your videos and then I saw that you was following me and I went down like I went like on a binge and I'm like, okay. So then I follow back, but I don't know at what point or what video it was where you started following me because I don't even know
I don't even know. I know it was one of your like Stitch videos, but I don't remember which one it was that I followed you on, but I'm like, oh my God, his voice is like soothing. It's like just very soothing and calm and deep. So I commented. I'm one of those crazy people on the internet commenting. There's one guy that I've asked to marry me like 5 times.
Oh no,
yes,
you the
I'm
psycho. You the psycho. Oh, I knew it. My wife was like, oh my God, I love her. Now I gotta tell you, she's a psycho.
You can tell her.
She's
You can tell her. And if he came to...
Tu habla loca.
Yo hablo loco, yes. So, I don't know that I would actually marry him if he came over to my house and asked me, but I'm putting it out there.
Like it's crazy now because when you have this following, it's already bad enough just going into the world, knowing that there's crazy people exist. Now you've gotten to the point where you have all these people, and some of these people are stalkers. Mm-hmm. And you don't know your enemies. Right. But your enemies know you.
They sure do.
So you out in the department stores and Publix, you think you shopping next to a little old Granny Ethel. And Granny Ethel, she's looking to take you out.
Mm-hmm. She was hired to take you out. So
that's the scary part to me.
That's like, one of the things that I've had to adjust in life. I've always been active on social media. So I'll post if I'm at a Yankees game. I'll post if I'm, cool places, right? I've learned, I know. Mm-hmm. Now I don't do that. Now I'll post after I leave. Like if I'm somewhere and I leave.
Almost had her. Mm-hmm.
I post after I leave because I have done meetups. So
you have?
I have. A stalker will absolutely know where I'm going to be at this time on this day. But that's a little bit more centralized to one time. But posting where you're at all the time. Mm-mm.
When you say meetups, right? Because I've always played with the idea of doing a meet and greet. I mean, realistically, people meet and greet me all the time when I'm out. But an actual, like, where there's a time and a date and people come, like, you've done something like that?
I've done 2 so far. I did one in January. Where? And at Three Sisters. I don't know if you're familiar with the area.
Yes, Three Sisters, the little speakeasy.
Yep.
Yeah, they got some good food.
I stopped going there, but that's a story for another day.
You can tell me that after.
Yeah, that's a story for another day.
I feel like we just went there the other day.
Good. It's good. It has nothing to do with their food, their service, or anything like that, but I stopped going there.
We'll talk about this.
We'll talk about okay. So I've reserved like a little back room that they have, and I literally posted it on my social media. I put a link so that they could actually get a ticket because I couldn't let it get crazy. I couldn't let it get out of hand. So I posted a link and people got the ticket. It was free. So it wasn't like, but they had to reserve the spot. And then I ordered food for the amount of people that should be there. And we just kind of went. I did some games. I did some Veronika. How well do you know Veronika trivia?
How many people actually showed up?
It wasn't a lot. It was like 6 or 7 people that showed up. I think I only opened it up for 10 tickets because I was paying for everything. So I'm like, hold up.
That's smart.
Very. So I was like, I'm only going to open it for a small amount of people. We did games. I had like a little raffle and stuff like that. And it's all texted.
7 people. That's still good. Listen, this is 7 strangers, 7 psychopaths like yourself coming to meet you.
Exactly. So I mean, we sat there, because less people showed up than expected. We just sat around the table. We were talking, chatting. They were asking me questions, telling me about their life. It was amazing. It was so much fun.
And it shows people that you're a human being and not like some item, because people, when you reach this level of, I don't know what people want to call it. They see you as unreachable. Like when people meet you, it's like, oh my God. And I really want to tell them, listen, I'm just like you.
I picked my nose.
Yes. I probably didn't shower this morning. Like I'm not this perfect guy you think I am. Like this. Look, the boogers here that I rolled like a little while ago. I forgot to fling it off because
hand today, right?
You caught me. Look, I'm flinging it now. It's like, I don't wash my hands after the bath. I'm normal.
Wow. Okay. Yes. No.
Maybe I went off.
Maybe we should talk about that afterwards too.
Maybe I'll cut that
part out. Yeah. So people always ask me, "Can I say hi to you if I see you on the street?" I'm like, "Who am I? Who am I that I would be like, no, don't say hi to me? What you shouldn't do is hug me without giving me a minute. Like, give me a minute to process. Give me a hug. All right. But of course you can say hi. Like, who am I for me to be like, call my people, have my people call your people?
Because there are some people like that.
Right.
Unfortunately, I don't know how these people end up like this. Like, shout out to them anyway. But I can't. I come from humble beginnings, and my endings will be humble, whatever that be. Like, I was in Burlington the other day, right? Maybe a day ago, yesterday, with my wife and her mom, and this. I saw this young lady, and you know, sometimes you could tell when somebody knows you, but they just don't want to say nothing yet. So we get to the front of the line. She came around, and shout out to her. She's probably gonna see it. She came to the front of the line. She's like, "Do you ever get that question that you look like this guy from Instagram?" Because it's always you look like this guy.
Right.
It's never, but they know though. She's like, "I saw you, the height, the tattoos," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's me." So, you know, they asked my wife, "Is it okay if I take a picture?" And it's like you said, like, who am I? I guess, you know, people, you know, boundaries are boundaries, and sometimes people want space. And that's even like when you see like people who are actually what is considered celebrities, where they just want space. I get it, because sometimes, but I'm nowhere near at that level where I'm like Jay-Z, Beyonce being swarmed. Like, they'll come one at a time.
Right.
Here, so yeah, you could take a photo. It's like you're not trying to pose no danger.
Exactly. And you know how you're making someone's day when they're like, "Oh my God, you're that person," and you're like, "Yeah." They get so happy. It's like, I'm like, I never thought people would get happy. It warms my heart. It does. Like, I'm like, oh, I love this so much. So yeah, I take the picture, I sign whatever they want me to sign. I sometimes I'll be like, "What's your Instagram?" And I'll follow them back. You know how that blows their mind for you to be like, "I got you." And I interact with my followers. I respond to their comments. I'll answer to their stories. I will interact because I am just a human. And the only reason that I have the following that I have and that I have the success that I have is because of them. So who am I to be like, I know I got here because of you, but take a step back.
You know, people also say that when fans, I don't even like to say fans. I hate that word. And anybody that follows me, I don't want to refer to them as fans, because that, to me, that sounds like a nicer way of saying you're a groupie.
Right.
Like, hop off my, and it's definitely not that. People always say, well, you know, people who support you, yeah, we're the people who have gotten you there. So, and then these people turn around, and it's like they totally disregard that, a lot of them. And I can understand where, again, they get it on a level that we've yet to have experienced. So I don't know, maybe it is different. But as long as I can, as long as life is in me and somebody wants to take a picture or what, because it does make people's days, and people don't realize that as people who make these videos, who we change the lives of people and make people's days better.
Absolutely.
Excuse me, Jesus, without even seeing these people.
Right. So I don't know, like you said, we're not at that level, but I think that even being at the level that we're at, we have the potential to get swarmed, right? Like, if we just go, like, when I go to New York, so many more people recognize me in New York than over here. But it's still I haven't run into anybody that's disrespectful. I haven't run into anybody that kind of crossed the boundary, or like, I'm like, okay, no, I got to be careful with these people now. No, everybody has always been almost kind of like, damn, should I say something? Can I say hi? Like, and because I am who I am, I'm the same person on my videos. I am the same person in person. I think people already feel comfortable with me. Like, I'm on live chilling with them, talking about it. I'm an open book. I told you that. So I think people are like, she's going to be all right if I say hi to her. Like, I feel like they get that from me, that they can say hi to me, that they can come over to me. I was at Ale House recently looking a mess because I went with my friends. It was late. I was going through something. It was a mess. And this family sat across from me, and I saw the guy. He kept staring, and I'm like, oh.
I feel like they be trying to figure out if it's
they trying to figure it out. But I think he knew immediately, because as soon as they sat down, he was like, So we went to get up and he was like, I'm so sorry. I see you on here, but it's so weird to see you here. And I'm like, oh, yeah, because he had his phone in his hand. And I'm like, it's okay. He was like, I was staring at you and I didn't want to bother you while you were eating, but I had to say hi. I'm like, it's okay. But it's like you said, people be looking at me like, is it you? Like,
yo, we was in Olive Garden. The table right across from me. Girl pulled up my picture and said,
I love that.
I'm like, it's me. And that's it.
Yeah.
She didn't come over. She didn't want to take a picture. And that's cool too. Like sometimes just the acknowledgement, like the very first time when it happened, it's like a surreal feeling. It's like.
What was your first time that somebody recognized you?
I was just walking around in no, that's not downtown, by Icon Park.
Okay. International.
And I walked by, I was with a friend of mine, I walked by and she did a double take and she came back and she was like, oh my God, I follow you on TikTok. And I'm like, I don't even think I hit 1 million followers yet. And I didn't even have an Instagram. And then her kids try to jump in the picture and then it's like, my husband's going to be so jealous.
Oh,
I'm
damn.
like, don't have that man come hunt me down because I don't want no issues. But it's crazy because even when I was in Vegas, I was in McDonald's. This young lady followed me from Australia. She came up to me and asked for a picture. I'm not even home. I'm not in New York. I'm not in Florida. I'm in Vegas, and she came from Australia. So it's weird. People are like, you have over 1 million followers, or however many followers somebody have. You don't know where these people are
at all.
Like a third of them could be from outside of the United States.
When I went to Ireland, I was exchanging my money, and the girl that was exchanging my money was like, "Are you the girl from TikTok?"
Why are you in Ireland?
I'm everywhere.
What's in Ireland?
I'm not scared of airplanes, so I go everywhere.
I can't think of any. No disrespect to Ireland, but I don't like what's there. What's...
I love the landscape. Like, I wanted to go to the Cliffs of Moher, which is just these beautiful cliffs overlooking the ocean. I didn't get to do it. What?
I don't know what it is.
You don't know what it is. I'm gonna text you a picture of the Cliffs of Moher. I didn't get to see them because they were 3 hours away from Dublin, and I was only in Ireland for one day.
I've heard of that. I've heard that in movies.
You've heard of Dublin? There you go.
Movies, yeah.
Okay,
Dublin.
You'll never see it in person,
Never.
I assume. Okay.
That's too far.
It's not that far. It's not that far.
I'm a Bronx boy, man. I'm a Bronx boy at heart, through and through. I'm not.
We got you out of the Bronx. Now we got to get you out of the U.S. Let's do that. How about that? No? All right. But yeah, so the girl in Ireland recognized me when I was in Paris recently, jumping on the airplane from London to Paris. Well, I was getting on the plane and this guy was like, you're the girl. You're the girl.
It's funny where you see people.
It's hilarious. My first time was I was going to a friend's house and I had to stop at the little security hut to get into her house. And the girl's like, she's like staring at me and she's like, are you the Not Today Satan girl? And I'm like, I am. She's like, oh my God, I follow you. I was like, and my best friend was in the car with me. She's like, oh my God, this is so cool. Like, she witnessed the first time and now it happens all the time.
It's funnier when it happens when you're with your friends who,
absolutely.
Who are, they just know you. Like when I go out with my homeboy, Kev is Kev is white, man.
Like me with the lighting and everything, or whiter?
Yeah, but you're Hispanic. He's white.
He's actual white.
Kev is we out chilling. Kev got on chancletas with no socks, all right? With pants. This is how white Kev is, man.
This is how white Kev is. Okay, got it. I love Shout out to Kev.
Kev, he's funny as hell, but like he's seeing people. We went to this Bob. I think it's called. It's in Universal. It's called Bob Marley. But it's a cool little atmosphere. They have live music, and a few people came up to me, like a few people, like even the people we sat next to, and they was just taking pictures with me, and they asking Kev to jump in the picture because Kev's energy is like through the roof, man. He's so fun to be around. But
Kev's single by any chance?
I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
But
he's a good friend, but you're not sure if Kev is single. I'm just kidding. Continue.
But he's like nose candy, like people who do nose candy like hype. Like his energy is crazy like that. So when the people are doing this, like it's exciting for him to see because I'm somebody that like Kev was
You're just
rocking
his
with me
boy,
but
like-
before any of this social media stuff happened. So just to see it, it's like,
Yeah.
my friend is popular. I don't
Yeah.
even say famous. When I
Nah, when we
label
got,
myself
when we
something, I
got
say
over
popular.
2 million followers, it's fame. It's fame. There's some celebrities, the actual celebrities that don't have 2 million followers.
You know what's crazy when I think about it? There are people who I've seen on social media for a long time, and I have surpassed them. And I'm like, it's just because this is our era. Like we're not movie stars. Well,
Right.
I don't think I will be. You may be,
I intend to.
but right. But you also your starting lane is this.
Right.
Their starting lane was rap or basketball or movies. Social media is like our main lane.
Right.
Like anything we have will branch off from this. So in the social media, that's why I've surpassed a good amount of celebrities who have Instagram accounts for years,
Right.
since I was like 20.
Yeah.
And here I come in less than 2 years.
You're old, so Instagram wasn't around when you were 20. That's
Facts,
for calling
I'm
me old at 35.
Oh, damn. Man.
Instagram wasn't around when you were 20, Papa.
It
So
definitely
sorry.
wasn't. Damn.
We might have been at MySpace, but I'm not even sure.
That's where I found my wife at MySpace. That's how old I am. I'm that old. I'm MySpace old.
Oh, so you were on Social Security. Okay, I'm with it.
Tato.
I like a little government assistance here and there.
I mean, yeah, damn.
I know.
Instagram was not around.
Google wasn't around when I was born, so that makes me feel really old.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. So if there was no Instagram, what was there besides MySpace? And
It was MySpace.
The top. My. Do you even know about MySpace?
Of course I know about MySpace. We were coders. Like, we knew how to code
Right, to
MySpace.
embed.
It was amazing.
What?
Yeah.
Mind blown.
Mind blown. You're welcome.
What?
You're welcome.
What?
How many times have I been right today? Like 8?
You've been right a lot.
lot.
She's actually helped me with my lighting setup.
You're
so
welcome.
shout out to you because I was getting it wrong. But
You were. I saw
getting it wrong,
it
but
and
we got it right.
I felt the energy and I said, I need to step in.
Speaking of old, right?
That was
Right.
a good
So
jump off.
speaking of old, let me just move right into this, right? In my 20s, that era of music for me was golden. Bad Boy, Diddy, Craig Mack, Faith Evans, Biggie Smalls, 112, Total, Jesus, the list goes on.
On and on.
Black Rob, G
Jodeci,
Dep.
Backstreet, Blackstreet.
It's like, what happened, Diddy? It's like, how do I
There's
See,
there's a meme going around telling people to listen to their favorite songs one last time before everybody that we used to listen to is done for.
because like the whole Epstein thing, right? I heard about it. I'm not really familiar with it. Diddy, Bad Boy was a part of my life. So this resonates with me more than that because I can relate to the music, not to the
Right.
actions. I don't know what the actions are.
Right.
Allegedly, you got to say that word, even. But isn't that crazy? Like,
It is. I'm not really a Diddy fan, but I'm huge on Biggie. I love Biggie and I love Mace. And you already know
Mace too, I forgot.
Diddy was on every sing, and I'm like, I don't even want to sing. I don't want to sing More Money, More Problems, even though it's one of my favorite songs. Like, and I'll Be Missing You. That song to me, that's my childhood. When that song first came out, I listened to it on
Ay,
repeat for like
bendito.
30 hours. It was like my life. And now I can't even listen to it without like, no, I'm giving this man money if I listen to it. Listen.
It's hard because it's like,
That's why you gotta listen to a whole bunch of different type of music. So you're not, You're not in love with this one genre that now you can't listen to no more. Now you got to learn rock songs, or now you got to learn country.
I can't listen to it the same. And then with this whole thing, we don't know who else your favorite singer or rapper that is on these tapes. Like I don't. This is a part of my life. Like I don't.
It feels like it's being ripped away from you. Like I can't listen to Biggie anymore.
Same thing with R. Kelly. I mean, I've still listened to R. Kelly songs. But
I can't even watch Space Jam anymore. You know, I Believe I Can Fly was like
still a great song.
It
man,
is.
But it's like
you can't listen to it the same.
Behind it is
okay. So I have an idea. Somebody needs to go and remix every single R&B song from the 80s, 90s, 2000s and resell them and just bring it to us again, but with someone else.
Oh, yeah. That's
same beat, find someone with a similar voice.
Kids Bop. Kid Bop. They do that all the time.
So the part where I said similar voice was very important in this. Okay?
That's true.
Or that Wow. What was it? Wow, the CDs that would come out.
It was terrible.
It was horrible. So we need somebody that has the same type of voice, the same type of vibe. We don't need the music videos. We just need the songs remastered with a new person that gives us that same feeling of our childhood or our 20s. Because when you were in your 20s, I was in my early teens.
Hey, hold on. Let me do some math here. I'm 43.
Are you sure you're trying to do mental math? Are you doing mental? Because
never mind.
I thought we had a conversation about mental. You're 40 what?
It don't matter.
I think you're 8 years older than.
It don't matter. It don't matter.
You put that bass in your voice to say it don't matter, and I shut up. See, that's what I need guys to understand. If the man that comes into my life needs me to shut up and sit down, just put a little bass in your voice, and I'll be like.
So you like an aggressive man?
Absolutely.
You like a dominant man?
Absolutely.
Are you submissive for your man?
Absolutely. And you wouldn't think because I'm so dominant in my everyday life, but I'm dominant in my everyday life because I have to be, not because I want to be. I am praying for a soft era. And it's just not coming because I got these bills to pay. So I got to get shit done. You know,
I could kind of see through that, though. I could kind of see, I can see that you know, that vibe you get off to where people may think that you're this tough woman. Maybe you might have a resting bitch face, but you look like.
Wow. I never said I had a resting bitch.
I'm just saying. You look like.
I look unapproachable.
No. You look like you could use a good dominating. Is that fair to say?
Okay, is my mom gonna watch this? That's the question. She gonna ask me for the link. Okay, Mom, if you're watching, skip past this part. Yes, I'm absolutely open to a good dominating. Like again, I'm very dominant in my everyday life. Behind my closed doors, take it.
Mom, if you're listening or watching, shut it off for the next couple of minutes.
For the next few minutes.
So I posted a video before, right? And there was some debate about it because some men are insecure about this. And then you have people like me who welcome it. What's your take on, you know, when you're being intimate with a man, you being a woman introducing toys in the bedroom? Because some men feel like, oh, nah, ain't no toy, you know, or blah, blah, could replace me. I give it a real deal. If you putting it down good, then you shouldn't have to use that. I'm like, okay.
So this goes back to the emotional intelligence. It's your ego telling you, no, don't do this. No, I can't leave a toy in the bedroom because that means that I'm not good enough. That's your ego talking. Let it go. Put it in the back burner. Leave it outside the bedroom. Because somebody who cares about you, somebody that's in tune with you and your body, they're going to want to do whatever makes you feel good. Okay? Mm-hmm. So if I'm with a guy and I'm telling him, okay, I think I need a little more to be able to, you know, take it to the next level. And he's taking it upon himself to let his ego get in the way of us both having a good time, then we are not compatible. I'm a trisexual. I like to say that all the time. I will try anything once, and I have no shame, no judgment on anybody. It's just, whatever. Let's try it. If it works, it works.
You're nasty.
Wait, say that one more time. So if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But Don't turn something down that your partner's telling you, because as a woman, I did a survey a couple years ago of a book that I'm writing, and
Ooh.
Mom, if you turned it back on.
That sounds like it's going to be a spicy book. I don't know, man.
Mom, if you turned it back on, turn it back off. I did a survey where I asked men and women. The women, how many, have you ever faked it? And 90% of the women was a yes. And the men, do you believe that your partner has ever faked it? 90% of the men were like, no, absolutely not. There's a very big imbalance there. So when you're a guy and you think you're doing the right thing, and you think just because she's screaming and making noises, because that's what you're watching, that's what you grew up watching on those channels that come on after 10 p.m.
Good channels.
Is not working if she's telling you it's not working. Okay. And it's so hard for women to speak up because we don't want to hurt your male ego. We don't want to make you feel bad. So we fake it, or we're just like, all right, whatever. When he leaves, I'll finish myself off. You know what I mean? So it's so important to listen to your partner.
Meanwhile, I beat that thing up. Right. Put it down.
Right. Like, we need more men who
she
are
can't
like,
even walk no more.
Is that why I saw the wheelchair outside? Okay. Moving on. So we need more men to be like, all right, I'm going to listen to what you have to say, because to be honest, men are going to get there. Men are going to get theirs. They need to be more in tune with women's bodies to make sure that that happens for her too.
Now, I'm going to tell you something you probably don't hear often.
Go ahead.
I have faked it.
Oh, I believe it.
A couple of times.
I have absolutely believe it.
With men, I don't know what other men, but you can only fake it if you are wearing a rubber. And I felt like, I don't know, maybe it was, there could have been several reasons why I wasn't reaching my point of.
There's a lot of words that could be thrown in here.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a good one. My point of, I don't know. My point of satisfaction, I'll say, right?
All right. Of sensationalism.
There you go.
You're welcome.
Right. So when you have the rubber on, when you have the shield on yourself, I go through the motions. I go through the jerk in my body. I make the sounds, the grunting.
You pass out.
But when I pull out,
sell it.
I sell it. But of course, if they take it off you, they can see that it's not inside. Right. So I just go to the bathroom and act like I'm flushing down the toilet. But I can't tell you why I didn't reach this point of sensation or sensationalism, but I just couldn't, and I didn't want to make her feel bad. Now that I think about it, she probably didn't even reach that point either. But at least one of us did.
That's why it's so important for conversation. And for me, a lot of people are like, oh, the most important thing is communication. I 100% disagree with that. I think the most important thing is comfort. If I'm comfortable with you, then I'm going to be open enough to communicate with you what I need, what's not working and all that.
Communicate or communicate?
Communicate.
Okay.
Communicate.
Yeah, okay.
So right. I think comfort is the most important, because with comfort comes...
That word is just that word is just all over the place.
Right. You don't even realize it.
Okay.
Right.
All
so
right.
Being comfortable with someone allows you the opportunity to communicate with that person and be honest with your communication. If you're not comfortable, first of all, you shouldn't be in a bedroom with somebody you're not comfortable enough with to open up and have these conversations. This is the problem that we have, but that's...
While in company of this person.
Exactly. So it's a lot of steps, but we're going to get there. Eventually, the conversation is going to open up to where we're going to be able to just talk about it.
What percentage of women do you feel really feel that size doesn't matter, as opposed to people? Because it's the day old thing.
It's
people
so redundant.
Say, does size matter? Like, listen, if size might get a toy, brother.
Right.
Help you out.
So
work harder.
For me,
smarter,
I can only speak for myself again. Size doesn't necessarily matter as far as length. Girth matters. Girth matters. Size itself doesn't matter. I'm going to tell you why. If you don't know this is a miniature lesson in anatomy. Our uterus is only a couple inches up. So if you're like a 8, 9, this shit's going to be a little painful. There are some women absolutely who are okay with that kind of pain. I don't want my uterus to get bruised because your uterus can absolutely get bruised.
You know, there's a lot of women online talking about they want these horses.
But these are women who are in a totally different category. I'm logical. I'm very logical. I'm very realistic. Size doesn't matter. I'm going to tell you why. As long as you make sure that I get to where I need to be before you get to where you need to be, because you're going to pass out once you arrive. I need to get off the bus first. I need to get off the train. I need to jump off the plane with my parachute.
That's a good way to put it.
Right. All of that needs to happen first. And size doesn't matter because it can happen in a number of different ways as long as it happens.
Have you faked it?
Absolutely.
Dang.
Absolutely. Dang. For the majority of my life. It's only after becoming an adult that I'm like, you going to feel how you going to feel about it.
How many people have you, these people that you have faked it for, do they know?
Not when I was younger. Not when I was younger, because I was still in the mindset of, oh, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Maybe it's my fault. Maybe. No. Now I'm just like.
How do you even begin that conversation? How do you say, does this happen during or after?
No,
or
because
when they home and you text them like.
No, I'm a very face-to-face. We're going to have this conversation. We all going to be uncomfortable. I got to be uncomfortable driving home like, almost there. Right? So we're going to all be uncomfortable. So I don't think it's necessarily a full-blown conversation, but a lot of guys, did you finish? If you need to ask me.
I'll never ask that in my life.
If you need to ask me that question, then you should know the answer is no. So when they ask, if they've asked, it's been a while, I'm not out there. I'm protecting my peace right now. But when they've asked, I've been like, nope. Now what? Like, they don't know how to react because in their mind, just because you're like, ooh, ah, yay, yeah. That means, oh, yeah, this is a good thing. No. When you feel like she is going through an exorcism, that is the good thing. Not the ooh, ah, yay, ooh, oh my goodness. You're probably hurting our uterus when we're saying, oh my God.
you know, I got a lot of kickback for a video I post as a joke.
Oh boy.
It said, I just wrote text on a screen. It says, Jesus, I'm forgetting what it was word for word, but it was something along the lines of. It was something along the lines of when I'm behind you, keep your back arched. Stop putting that hump in your back. And women they tore me a new one because it was like, oh, if we doing that, it's because you hurting us. It don't feel good. And I said it as a joke, but
it's a sensitive topic.
But the reality of it was these women were in fact correct. And when that does happen, it's like, oh, whoa. I made fun of it saying when you hit and these women do this camel hump thing or they turn into cats when cats do that. Mm-hmm. And I didn't realize that was a bad thing. I did it in all fun joking, but it made me realize that, a lot of women that is painful and they don't want to deal with that pain. And I'm here. I'm like,
you're making fun of our pain. You're literally laughing at our pain. Thank you.
I realize that women just don't want to be in pain, and it's not technically a good thing. When and to men, it's like everything inflates our ego when we see women in that pain. In our mind, all we saying is, "Yeah, you can't even take it." But
right. And it's like, literally pain.
Yeah, it hurts.
It's literally
it's like, okay.
And there's some people that are okay with pain. I'm okay. This might be TMI, but I'm okay with a certain amount of pain. Like, it's okay. But when it's literally like, ouch, like that actually, don't get excited about that. Like, I'm literally going through pain right now. So I need you to like take a minute and let me compose myself. But it's a turn on for a lot of guys to know that they're causing pain. It's so weird.
Destroying this woman.
It's so weird.
Have you ever dealt with a guy that you had to turn back because like it was too much?
No, I haven't.
See, that could when you say no, that could be people won't know how to take that. I was
they
like,
won't.
Damn, she out there taking horses or has she just been dealing with small?
Mom, if you turned it back on, turn it back off. No, you know what? I keep saying that. I'm kidding. Me and my mom have such a beautiful, open relationship that we've probably had these same conversations. So, Mom, leave it on. You've probably heard all this crap anyway. No, when I say I haven't.
Your mom may have been nasty too. I don't know. We here, right?
Yep. Listen. So I say that because I've learned as an adult to take control, and not in a dominating kind of way. Just if something's not working, I'm very, very outspoken. Like, okay, hold on. We're gonna turn. You're gonna put your leg over here and put my leg over here, and we're gonna make it work because this is not working for me, and we're both here, so it needs to work for both of us.
It's funny that you say that because as men, like we look for ways, like when you're trying to make it work and make it comfortable for you, we're looking for ways that put your shoulder up here so I could.
You need an acrobat. You're like, hold on, I'm gonna get the string to tie this leg to this bedpost, and we'll be back after these short messages.
Yo, it's.
But this is why it's so important to not be selfish in that environment. You both got to be open. You got to be willing to talk. You got to be willing to see what works. Not everything's going to work. You got to be able to laugh when something just doesn't go right. And you got to be in tune with what your partner needs.
I see why a lot of women have a difficult time dating, man, because it's like us as men, you know, not all the time, because there are guys that are just like straight shooters, but there's a lot of there's a lot of shit men, and they out for destruction. Like as days go by, I start to realize, like, when this whole, to bring it back around, what people say, would you rather be in the forest with a bear or a man? Like, I'm seeing men do some like crazy things as far as where women are concerned, and it's like I see in the news, like there's no reason men should be taking women off the face of the earth, because I seen a video the other day because Shorty didn't text him back. He used his pew to be, you know, TikTok talk, and sent it through the door because he didn't reply. Like,
yeah. And we are not sitting here banging our chest saying we hate all men. We want you all to die. That's not it. We just want to be heard. The majority of violence against women, children, sexual assaults, it's all men against women and children, elderly people. When you see these 89-year-old women walking out of the bodega and they're getting punched in the face, and it's men doing these things. And it might be one woman in a crowd, but it's one woman with 5 other men who decided, let's go and hurt this person. So we just want men to stop targeting women. Like, we want you to stop targeting everybody, period. But stop. Like people were saying with the bear, if the bear kills me, the bear's not going to sexually assault my body after it's dead. It's not going to take a picture and leave it in its sock drawer. It's not going to come back and lay with me and caress my face. Like, the bear might kill me, but that's all it's going to do. A man might kill me, but he's going to do things to me before he kills me, and he's going to probably do things to me after he kills me. I was just watching a TikTok, and I wish I knew the creator who posted it, where a woman was saying that her husband, she got a phone call. She had been with her husband 50 years, got a phone call. Your husband's in jail. He was being charged with taking pictures of women's skirt at the grocery store. You would think that's the worst part of the story, right? When they researched his computer, he had a folder called abuse, and he had 200 videos on there of men who would come while he drugged his wife and knocked her out. They would come and sexually assault her while she was asleep for the past 10 years. And he's facing maybe 20 years in jail. So
that's it.
Yeah. It's shit like that you're like, okay, we just want men to stop with the violence and the hatred towards women, elderly, and children. That's it. We don't want y'all to do anything else. Like, if you can just stop with the violence, stop with the hatred, and stop with the pointing fingers that women are the problem, we can start the conversation. But because sometimes you post those controversial things where it's women pointing the finger at the men in the comments, men pointing the finger at the women. Nobody's listening. And that's where the problem is coming from.
This war between men and women is ridiculous.
It's horrible.
And it's not, the crazy thing is, it's not only men. it's really shitty women online also.
Absolutely.
It's really shitty men. There are videos of men bashing women. There's women bashing men. It's like, when will it end? Can we get back to loving each
I
other
wish
again?
it did. I wish it would end. But again, the action, the words are different, right? We can go back all day, back and forth. No, this is why men are wrong. And you're like, no, this is why women are wrong. But when you look at the statistics of the actions, of the murders, of the robberies, of the, of the break-ins, of the burglaries, of the rapes, of the, of all the things, it's men at the forefront of most of the crimes committed, especially against women. Like that, you want a divorce, you can't just walk away. Like, you can't just walk away most of the time. You're probably going to get beat up, or you're going to get killed, or you're going to, something's going to happen, or they're going to weaponize their kids against you. Or it's so like, I wish the conversation could happen, but there's so many people in this world that their mind is so, nope, this is what I'm looking at. I'm not willing to open my mind to other things, that I don't think that war between men and women is going to end.
Not in my time on earth. Maybe yours, because you're a little younger, but
I'm a lot younger, just so we get that straight. But no, I don't think so. I think it's getting worse, if anything. I don't think it's going to get better. I think it's going to get worse because, and this is another controversial topic, women are choosing to be single more than ever. Like, they're like, I don't want to deal with it.
I can see that.
Yeah,
I believe that.
Don't want to deal with it. There's going to come a point where men are going to be like, especially shitty men, because there's men who will be single and be like, damn, I can't find nobody, but they won't go out there and force themselves on somebody. But there's going to be plenty of men who are like, well, I can't find a date. I'm going to go force myself on a date. I'm going to go force myself on somebody because nobody wants to sleep with you. Nobody wants to go on a date with you. So you're going to just take it into your own hands and make it happen. So I don't think it's going to get better because of the way women are choosing to just, you know what? I'm going to build my little compound with my girlfriends. This is going to be our life. And the bad men out there are not going to like that.
We're in an era where people are totally fine with being alone or just being with the same sex. I don't know that I've ever gotten to that point where I feel that women were that terrible. So women are wonderful creatures, man. Women are.
And a good man is also a wonderful creature. That's the thing.
I don't think women are that hard to please. Like good women. Like these new era women that have these crazy expectations of men. Oh, you need to be making like 700,000. Or or a video I had posted. Nah, if he sending me $30 ain't enough for lunch. You gotta cash. Like, you want $100 for me to sing for lunch all the time? No, I can't. To me. Well, I can't say that these women are not good women, because you're allowed to set your standard. Not for me, though.
It's not for you. That's the thing. It's not for me,
and that's fine.
That's the thing. I need people to understand. If it's not for you, that is okay. Move on. But it's so much, let's bash this person. Let's make them feel like complete shit for having that standard. If she has that standard and there's a guy out there who's like, I guess I'll pay her $100 for lunch every day. Okay.
This guy's
go
out there
for it.
willing to do it. And
absolutely.
Will. Just because I won't. But that she's not out of luck and she's not dead in the water just because I won't. There's plenty of guys that live to do that. And they got the means to do it.
Absolutely.
So, I can't be upset with that. So let me just forget that negative stuff. Let me shift the tone a little bit.
Okay.
So I noticed on the podcast that you just did, someone that you would like to work with is Michelle Pateau. That's how you. So funny. My wife and I were watching the podcast and we saw that. She was like, "Oh my God, I told you that's the girl from the movie that I keep telling you to watch. That's hilarious. There's a movie out that she's in called Babes."
Yes.
I did not see it yet. My wife keep raving about it.
It's
Have
so
you seen
good.
it?
Yes, I have. I watch everything she does because she's so funny.
Have you been able to connect with her or not yet?
No, I follow her on Instagram and stuff like that, but it would be like a dream. I see myself in her. She's funny. She got this wild curly hair. You know what I mean? Like, she's sarcastic and she's a bigger girl. So, I see myself in her and I love that. And I
had to do my research when you said it because I've never heard of her.
Wow.
Before that.
She has a show called Survival of the Thickest, and it is hilarious, but it also has a really good message behind it. I think it's on Netflix.
Netflix? I might have to check that.
It's so good.
My wife won't leave me alone about the movie. She watched it already.
It's really good.
I know the other girl in it because I used to watch her on a show that what was that show called? The girl that she's co-starring in Babes with, she used to do a show with City. I forget what it was called, but it was so good. So, I mean, I'll check it out. And if she ain't reached out to you yet, we're gonna have to
find her. Let's find her. Let's tag her on everything.
I might have to reach out, try to use my superpowers.
Do
like,
it.
Yo, what are you doing? This person, I think this would be, because when I realize, I don't know if it's because the amount of followers a person has that makes him able to reach certain people.
Absolutely.
I don't know. Maybe it is a numbers game, right? Because I've spoken to people who I've never thought that I would speak to in my entire life.
Absolutely.
Because of social media. Like it's insane. And I speak to these people, it's like them and I are on the same level, but clearly they've done much more in life. But it's like, if I had 1,000 followers, again, if I reach out to her, she may respond because I am who I am. To me, I'm Eric. I'm the husband at home. I'm the guy. Hey, take out the garbage. I'm the guy that gets dominated in here. Like they see me as this guy, but I'm just a homebody. I'm
Same.
cool. And,
I'd be home with my dog on my couch just chilling, and people probably thinking
is that a Rottweiler?
That's my baby. That dog is my heart.
How old?
He's 2.5. He'll be 3 in January.
What does that mean? 3 human years? That's 3 human years?
That's 3 human years, so he's going to be 21 in dog years.
Is that old?
Dogs, especially Rottweilers, they have a shorter lifespan. So he'll probably, if, God willing, I want him to make it till he's 30. But
30 human?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Live that long?
No. No, unfortunately,
in
Rottweilers.
Human years, what's the length?
For Rottweilers, between 10 and 12 years. My best friend, she lost hers at 7. So they have, they develop a lot of cancer and stuff like that.
I never knew that dogs got gray hairs. When I've seen like old dogs, I'm like, is that dog old? Or is that a different breed?
It's not even just old, because my dog is 2 and he's had gray hairs for over a year on his back. He has a whole bunch of little ones peeking out, but he absolutely has grays.
Is your dog friendly, or if somebody comes to you like he's
friendly as long as he sees that I'm like, yo, what's up? Like, but he's very protective. Like, he's absolutely protective.
Why that dog?
I don't know. I've always wanted a Rottweiler since I was a little girl. I've always found them so beautiful. But, you grow up thinking that they're these mean, dogs because that's all you see. Like, and they have such a bad rap. And when I tell you,
pit bulls.
When I tell you that my Rottie is the sweetest, most caring, most beautiful, most like he'll come over to me and throw his head on my chest or on my lap, and he'll just sit there for hours and just let me pet him. And with other people, he's the same way. Like I say, you try to break in my house, you around and find out.
Does he have accidents in the house?
No.
Never?
Never. From the moment that he was a puppy, I would take his ass outside. I bought my house for him so he could have a backyard, and he waits and he goes to my backyard door and he hits it with his nail when he has to go outside. So
you got a smart dog. I'm not even going to get into why we don't have a dog no more, but we didn't get a smart one.
He's so intelligent, like ridiculous.
That dog was supposed to be small. We had what was it? What's that allegedly smart dog that's always in the dog shows?
I don't know.
God, I forget what it's called. It's not an Aussie. People always confuse it with an Aussie. I'll come back to it, but it wasn't it wasn't yours.
He wasn't smart.
Did you train that dog, or was just...
It was more like conditioning, just repeating a lot of repetition, a lot of the same things over and over and over.
With treats?
Some with treats. So for example, when I give him his food, he sits down until I put the food down on the floor. As soon as I put the food down, he gives me his paw. That's his way of saying thank you. And I taught him that from the beginning. I sit down, he would sit, I'd put the food, and I'd put my hand out. And now he lifts his hand before I even put the food, like before I even ask him for it. I don't know if you saw the God Bless America video that because I would sing God Bless America to my dad every single day when the Yankees were playing at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, I saw that.
When he would hear the trumpets in the beginning, he's up and he's ready to sing every single time. I just happened to catch him on video that day, but that is an all the time thing where he sings God Bless America. And it's things like that. At night, I'll be like, you ready for bed? And he'll stand up, he'll go to the door and he'll wait for me. And he'll wait till I go into my room and close the door. And it's just so many things that he does that I'm like, he's so intelligent.
He hasn't tore up your furniture?
Not Never, not a shoe, not my furniture, nothing. When I tell you he's the most gentle, most perfect dog, only thing that drives me insane is that he's very needy and he has a lot of separation anxiety. So I hate leaving him home because I know he's sitting there screaming at the top of his lungs because I can hear it.
Isn't that when they start to mess your stuff up?
So with Rottweilers, they can get bored and they can become destructive. He never did it. He never did it. And I would leave him in his crate because of that. Because I'm like, I don't want to take the chance. But then one day I say, you know what? I got to trust him. Let me see what happens. Never.
Nah. No. I would have. We made that mistake.
Oh, no.
We didn't have a good dog.
I'm sorry.
I think that dog, the parents of that dog had a dog with his brother or something. Like we just
it was inbred.
It had to be.
Okay.
That's what he was trying to figure out. So we ended up just
rehoming.
Yeah.
That takes a lot of training. When it's a behavioral issue, you have to invest in the training of the dog because it gets to be a lot. The only thing with him is he's also very hyper. So I do want to get him trained on that because if you come to my house, he's going to jump on you. What I do is I put a toy in his mouth because his teeth are big and they hurt and he won't bite you like on purpose, but his excitement, he'll nip. So I have to put a toy in his mouth. I have to tell people to sit down, put a pillow on your lap. He's going to jump on you and he's going to keep jumping. And that's just who he is. But he's not a violent, aggressive dog at all. It's just you come into my house when you're not supposed to, you might find out, but he's a sweetheart and he's 100 pounds. And you would think,
I believe you.
Is my little dog that you got to be afraid of.
You got another dog?
I do. I have a little Yorkie poo. He's 10 years old.
Oh, God.
He's 18 pounds.
Those things are barkers?
He's not a barker. He's another one that's very smart. Since he was little, he's never given me any issues.
They get along?
No, not at all. I have to keep them completely separate. Completely. Because the little one used to bully the big one. So now the big one is like, I'm big now. What's up?
So they were both, you had them since they were...
Yeah. So Dexter was already... I think he was 8 when I got Luca. But while Luca was still a puppy, I got Luca at 3 months.
Wait, Dexter's a small one?
Yes.
Dexter sounds like a big person name.
No, he sounds like a serial killer, and that's exactly what I got because he's mean as hell. He is mean as hell.
You got him from Florida, the dogs?
I did. No, Luca was from Pennsylvania. I went up and picked him up.
You travel for that.
I travel for anything. I'll travel for food.
We got a husky when we was living in New York. From a breeder. Living in a studio. I was living in a studio.
With a husky. With a husky in a studio.
Yo, I thought I had that thing trained, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, so I let her off the leash. I'm walking, this is streets of the Bronx. She ran. I'm like, oh, well, there you go. I turned around just to walk in my building.
Yep.
Some reason she bolted back and I was able to leash her up. I'm like, all right, I'm never letting you go. I thought I had you trained. Like you.
Mm-mm. I can't let my dog off the leash outside.
I went to work one day. I thought about putting, one of them child gates between the kitchen because it was no nothing. The studio was just kitchen, but it was like a little doorway. Yo.
You know how high they can jump?
No, now I do. Everything, like I had like 2 cases of 48 packs. What this dog bit through everything. Mm-hmm. It was flooded in the kitchen when I came in. Yeah. I guess the separation anxiety was.
Yeah, it's serious. When they get bored, they get destructive, and it's hard. But I'm always home with Luca. Unless I'm traveling, I'm always home. And when I'm not home, my aunt lives with me, so she's home. So he's not alone a lot. But even if he was, he's no longer destructive. When he was younger, he was a little crazy, but not destructive the way that I expected.
Yeah, no, I'm a pass on the dogs because
he was not from a breeder though. To answer your question, my mom's best friend's daughter, her Roddy had puppies, and I was like, oh, "Is that a Roddy?" She's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I'm on my way." She's like, "Really?"
Was it cheap?
No, it was $1,000 I paid for him.
Oh yeah, the breeder.
I know people are gonna hate me because I should have went and adopted one, but I wanted a Rottweiler since I was a baby, and they were here anyway, so I was gonna. Yeah, I technically adopted him.
$300 for the husky, and I even out here when I did the research, like there's this place that sells dogs on the 192. I think they want close to $4,000 for a husky. I'm like, why?
Damn. No, I've always loved huskies too, but they shed. I mean, my dog sheds.
I want what is this thing called? French bulldog. I've always wanted
a Frenchie.
A French bulldog.
Oh, a French bulldog, not a Frenchie. Isn't a French bulldog a Frenchie?
I don't know, but
They are. You made me second guess myself.
wait, no, I don't know.
The
what
Frenchie is the little ones, like the little
do they
cutesy
call them
one.
Frenchies? I don't know.
Yeah.
I gotta Google and show you
Yes.
after. But they want like 5.
I wouldn't do it. My friend has 2 of them, and it's difficult. Not only that, they have a lot of breathing problems because their nose is shorter, and it's. My friend can tell you.
Dogs with health problems. That's wild.
Listen. I just paid $800 at the vet like 2 weeks ago, and they never told me what was wrong with him.
Nope.
They never
That's an
told
extra
me.
expense I don't want.
Yeah.
I don't want. And then the food, blah blah blah.
I cook his food every day. I don't even cook my own food every day.
Well, you get this dog real food?
I give him ground turkey with brown rice.
I thought they're not supposed to eat cooked food.
They can eat cooked food. Of course they can eat cooked food.
I don't know. I hear so many myths and so many.
That's exactly why I do what I want to do and don't listen to nobody.
That's true.
That's it. Because one will debunk this one, that one will debunk that one. I'm going to give him his food. It's been working and we're good.
So I saw you on live earlier, right? I don't let you know. But I was just scrolling through. I saw you. She was like, I'm going to be late. I'm like, I'm not tripping over that. But, right, I did notice you said you have a website that you've created, the customer service. What did you say it was called?
Academy.
Customer Service Academy, right? It's not in your bio.
Okay.
I looked. It's not. So
I'll add it.
I wanted to tell you just so, because I was looking for it. I'm like, I can't even check it out. And I went to your Instagram. It's not there either.
Okay.
When you go on the links, it shows like the link for like, I believe the machine for your face, and then the links for the other podcast, but it's not there. So I'm like,
I'll add it. The problem is that when I do collaborations, they sometimes have exclusivity rights for the links in your bio. So I've had to take it out a couple times, and then sometimes I forget to add it back. Right. But I'll absolutely add it back. Thank you for that.
So tell me a little bit about that before we run out of time, because I think the memory card is about to.
Yeah, so the Customer Service Academy is it's me basically coaching either one person or a group up to 10. And we go through this PowerPoint presentation that I created, and it's very interactive, and it's essentially tips and tricks on how to handle rude customers, how to de-escalate situations, how not to let yourself get overwhelmed with customers who call in yelling and telling you to go unalive yourself, jump off a bridge. Yeah. And 20 more like you in the same shift, you know. Jono Savo. So, you know, it's a better way to become a better customer service representative while not letting people, you know, get over on you, not letting their behavior cause you to walk out of your job. There's so many people who work in customer service who go home and cry themselves to sleep every day. And I don't want that. Like, we need to live in harmony as adults that we are. And it's teaching people how to be more like me, essentially. There's a part of the training called the Veronika training. It's literally how to be more assertive, how to speak up for yourself, and how to say no without saying no.
Is this something you had created prior to the library of videos you have on TikTok, or this came after?
Yeah, so videos? It kind of developed, it was born out of one of the videos that I did with another creator, Estefania, where she started at the call center and she started crying because somebody was yelling at her. And I'm like, I'm going to give you the Veronika training. And a lot of those comments were like, why do I feel like I need an actual Veronika training? So I'm like, this might be something. So I started creating it, put together my own experiences, things that other people have told me, and kind of created this program where we're just going to go through it, and hopefully it helps you to gain more confidence and to be able to do your job better. And not only that, I want to get certified officially as a coach so that I can provide you a certificate of completion showing I took this course, so you can add that to your resume. Like, imagine an employer looking at your resume and seeing that you paid out of your own money and out of your own time, you went and took this class that's going to help you become a better customer service agent for their company. And they didn't even have to pay for it. My ultimate goal is to provide the training to call centers. But in the meantime, I'm offering it as an individual thing that anybody can sign up for. Sensational.
Also, I wanted to ask you, these skits that you do, very Very well put together.
Thank you.
Very well thought out. How long does it take you to create one of these? Like, is the process, is it like riding a bike? Is it difficult? Do you get writer's block when you, like, is there some days you just can't come up with something?
In comparison to how long it took you to set up these lights today.
I see the shot. You took a shot there. It's all good.
Did I?
Took a shot. It's okay.
I feel like I could have recorded maybe six videos. It takes me, and I hate saying this because I don't want anybody to think that it's not a creative process, but it takes me less than 10 minutes to record the whole thing, put it together, and post it. Like,
do you write it, or are you just doing it off the fly?
it's right off my mind. I don't have a single skit written down.
That's talent, man.
Thank you.
That's what I'm saying.
Thank you. I don't have a single one written down. So if God forbid TikTok goes away and I haven't backed up all my videos, I'm losing all of them because I don't have anything written down.
All right, so let's do this. Given that this is how you do it, right? I just want to call your call center for a second, right?
You can put me on the spot.
There you go, right?
How dare you?
It don't matter how it goes. It's just on the fly. Ring, ring, ring.
Thank you for calling customer service. This is Veronika. How can I help you?
Yeah, I need my money back for this flight. I don't like Spirit. I'm tired of this shit, and I just want you to give me my shit back now.
Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is not use profanity.
Yeah, you don't tell me how to talk. I tell you. You work for me. You work for me. All right, I pay your bills. Okay, brokey, I pay your bills. Are we clear on this? Because last time I checked, you're at the job right now. I'm home.
Side note, you're too good at this. This is how I know that this is the caller that you really are in real life. But I'm going to pretend. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you think I was listening? Because I don't know who you were talking to, but it wasn't me. So did you want to start this conversation again, or did you want to give us a call back when you want to be respectful?
They just hire any of you stupid motherfuckers.
They sure do. Any other questions before I hang up?
You're under.
Have a good day.
All right. That's how it goes.
That's exactly how it's
what's crazy?
go.
When I call and I get crazy with them, in my mind, I think they're supposed to be so professional that they can't hang up on me, but they do.
They do.
I'm like, the nerve.
So on camera, I need you to promise that you're going to do better.
I'm going to do better.
Thank you.
I'm already on that path.
Thank you.
Doing better.
Growth. This is what we're doing.
That's what it's about.
That's all it's about. It's growth and holding yourself accountable and realizing that they're just following the rules set by their company. And I know we said that their company is them, but they are following the rules because they're going to lose their job if they give away the house. If you don't like Spirit, you want your money back. Imagine 50 people calling back on a daily basis wanting their money back. The company will go bankrupt.
Sorry.
You know,
sorry.
On behalf of all customer service agents everywhere, you're forgiven this time.
Sorry.
If anybody out there gets a call from my friend who's sitting across from me and he's mean in any way, please reach out to me because he apologized. And the best apology is changed behavior.
And that's a fact.
Otherwise, it's manipulation.
So I don't want the camera to get shut on us. Let me say I really appreciate you taking the time to come here. Means a lot. You've gained a friend in me, and I appreciate again everything that you do. Your content. Whew. You putting up with my lack of knowledge for lighting. Just. The behind the scenes, the trial and errors. Thank you for your patience. If there's anything you want to say in closing, tell the people. Tell them the site also because it's not in the profile right now. And if anything, if you have anything coming up or they don't know that you want to share, then
Sure.
Go for it. Floor's yours.
So really quick, it took me a minute to realize you didn't say you have a frenemy. You said you have a friend in me, and it definitely sounded like frenemy.
That's your ears are young and stupid.
So wow, okay, yeah. I heard when you get older, your words start to kind of jumble together. So that's what happened there. But I thank you so much for having me here today. I had a great time. I like the flow of the conversation. It was great. I wish you nothing but so much success. I want success for all of us. I've always said it. There's plenty to go around. A friend of mine fights with me. She's like, there's not plenty to go around. Yes, there is. For the people that want it, there's plenty. Not everybody wants it. And success looks different for everybody. So it doesn't mean that we all want to be rich and famous. Everybody looks at success differently. So for those that really want it and are willing to put in the work, it's out there. So just never stop yourself. Never get in your own way to be successful. You're the only one stopping yourself. So I wish you so much more success.
Black power.
Black power. Yes.
Boricua on the set.
So, but yeah, so my site is customerserviceacademybyv.com, and I'll add that to all my socials. My socials are all The Real Veronika, except on Instagram, it's The Real Veronika _ with a K. That's Veronika so important. Veronika with a K. So many people, my name is right there on the screen and they'll spell it a million different ways, and that's okay.
I'm going to find a way to, I see where people, they do videos, they find a way to put the person's Instagram name on the bottom. I'm still a brother. I'm still learning. I'm trying to learn how to do it.
So you don't know anything about technology. Okay. I can, it's so quick. I can show you that before I leave. It won't take anywhere near as long as it took you for the lighting. But
That's
even with how long it took you,
fair.
I appreciate the effort that went into it. I appreciate the effort that you put into making sure that I didn't look like Casper the Friendly Ghost because I'm white and I put lighter foundation today for some
I can
reason.
still make you look like that. Don't get it twisted.
Wow.
Even with the light like this.
That's sabotage.
I can manipulate the footage.
They call that sabotage. So just putting that out there, if that's what you want to be known for, go for it. But I do appreciate all the effort that you put in today. I don't think it's a lack of knowledge. I just think it's, like you said, trial and error. It's something that you didn't have to do before because I'm the whitest person you've ever had sitting in this chair. But it's just stuff that comes up and you kind of go with it. So I appreciate you. I appreciate the time today talking to me. I hope that we somehow are able to connect creatively in the future. Like I told you earlier, I have a feeling that this might propel us into something different. Never know what that might look like.
Don't know. Hope so. One can only hope.
Exactly. So, but yeah, that's where I'm at. As far as things coming up, I'm writing a book. I mentioned it earlier. I'm writing 2 actually, but there's one that I'm super hyper focused on. Just continuing my content, taking care of my dad right now is my main priority. But that's really it. Just keep an eye out because I'm an open book, so I post everything on my Instagram and all that. So if you want to keep up with my life, that's where you're going to find it.
And that is a wrap.
That is a wrap.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure.
We got through that.
That was good.